California Aerospace Day is happening this Wednesday at the Aerospace Museum of California. Hundreds of people are expected to be at McClellan to hear more about the aerospace industry and how it's essential to the Golden State's economy and how it supports over 500,000 jobs. President and CEO of the California Manufacturers and Technology Association, Lance Hastings, joins us with more about the event. Welcome, Lance.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're excited. So, Lance, tell us about Aerospace Day, the event, and what can people expect?
Well, it's one of the opportunities we have to showcase really the aerospace industry here in California, which is not really known by a lot of Californians. So you identified 500,000 jobs, over $66 billion are contributed to the economy, and they pay $7 billion in local and state taxes. So it's really important to the state of California.
Yeah, definitely. And what is the timing behind the event, and why are we holding this now?
Well, it's really important. This week, in fact today, the legislature's back from its summer recess, and they have a 4-week or 5-week run-up to the end of session, and we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to show aerospace to the policymakers and thought leaders here in town, and that's why we're doing it this week.
Okay, awesome. And what are some things your organization is doing for the aerospace industry and its future here in California?
One of the things that's really important for us across manufacturing, but specific to aerospace, is the narrative. A lot of people don't know about the industry, but they think about it.
Right.
In many cases, though, what they think about isn't actually what's happening. There's a vast supply chain for the aerospace industry, and you'll hear the big names like Boeing and Northrop Grumman all the time, but you don't hear about the companies that support that value chain, and that's where the numbers get well into the billions of the contributions to the state's economy, and it's as vital to the California economy as agriculture, and people know about that. But it's the aerospace. Everyone rides in a commercial jet, and that's part of the aerospace industry, but they're also sending rockets into space, satellites, and doing things in the modern era that really helps expand our universe, pardon the pun, for what the aerospace and defense industry does, including keeping us safe as well.
Yes, which is needed. And what are some of the challenges that this industry faces?
I think right now, coming out of COVID, there's a lot of economic uncertainty. They are heavily reliant on federal investment because of the defense space. But it's just, what does the future look like and hold for the sector? And the fact that it's so important to California, and it used to be very important here in Sacramento, with 3 Air Force bases located locally. So it's just trying to navigate that future, which we all think is kind of uncertain, but they're doing the best that they can.
Yeah, and Lance, there are aerospace companies in Sacramento as well. Could you tell us more about them?
Yeah, there's one supplier company that I wanted to highlight today, if I could. It's Tri-Tool Technologies out in Rancho Cordova, and they have about 100 employees, and they make things, pipe fittings, etc., that go up into space. And so you have employees that are out there working hard, probably been in the company maybe 20 years, and they're sending things into space. And they think that's really cool, as do I. But it's a great example of a small company that's feeding into this major economic sector and economic driver for the state. And they just take great pride in what they do. And the stories that they can tell of just working on the machinery is just amazing.
Yeah, and what do you hope people take away from Aerospace Day, the event that you're having?
Well, I hope they come away with an added appreciation, but certainly it's that understanding that I mentioned earlier, to understand more about what that economic sector really means to the state of California, as well as legislators and the governor. I mean, I'd like them to know exactly how important that sector is to the state economy, the state budget, and even local budgets as well. Yeah,
knowledge is power, so we got to make sure we're using it. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate having you on, and for more information and to reserve your tickets, visit cmta.net.